From Washington, this is VOA News. The United States reacts to what was an apparent chemical weapon attack in Syria. A former Egyptian president has been removed from his jail cell but remains under arrest. I'm Ira Mellman in Washington. The U.S. State Department said Thursday that if the allegations against the Syrian government were true, it would be an outrageous and flagrant escalation of the use of chemical weapons by the regime. Wednesday's alleged chemical attack on a Damascus suburb was said to have killed scores of children, seen in amateur videos as small, lifeless bodies wrapped in white cloths, their pale skin unmarked by any wounds. Syrian opposition figures and activists have reported death tolls from Wednesday's attack ranging from 136 to 1,300. U.S. State Department spokeswoman Jennifer Psaki said the red line is the use of chemical weapons, but she added we're still focused on nailing down the facts.
The intel community is focused on that. The administration is focused on that. If these reports are true, it would be an outrageous and flagrant escalation of use of chemical weapons by the regime.
The Syrian government has denied allegations it used chemical weapons and artillery barrages on the suburb as absolutely baseless. Psaki responded to those denials, saying that if the regime did not have anything to do with the chemical attacks, then there's no reason they wouldn't let the UN team that is on the ground, available, happy to investigate, in to do just that. The U.S., Britain, and France have demanded that a team of UN experts already in Syria be granted immediate access to the site, which has not been granted. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon says the world body has formally asked the Syrian government to let the UN personnel swiftly investigate the scene of Wednesday's alleged chemical weapon attack. The former Egyptian president Hosni Mubarak is out of prison, but he is not a free man. Egypt's military-backed interim government has released the 85-year-old Mubarak, putting him under house arrest while he awaits prosecution on murder and corruption charges. A helicopter transported Mr. Mubarak from Cairo's Tora prison to a military hospital near the capital on Thursday. Egyptian state television said Prime Minister Hassan el-Bablawi ordered the house arrest of Mr. Mubarak as part of emergency measures introduced this month. Israel's military says 4 rockets were fired at Israel Thursday from southern Lebanon, but there were no reports of injury. A military spokesman said 2 of the rockets landed in populated areas in northern Israel, and one was intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. He called the attack an isolated incident. Southern Lebanon is a stronghold of the Hezbollah Islamist militant group that fought a war with Israel in 2006, but Israel blamed this attack on a global jihad terror organization, an apparent reference to al-Qaeda. Israeli officials said those who carried out the attack were operating near the Lebanese city of Tyre. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. The trial of fallen political star Bo Xilai has begun in the eastern Chinese coastal city of Jinan, one of China's biggest political cases in decades. And while direct access to the hearing has been tightly controlled, VOA's Bill Ide reports from Beijing that the Chinese public is being given an unprecedented look at the proceedings through the court's Twitter-like microblog site online.
Most of the first day of Bo Xilai's trial, as seen through updates online, was an intense back and forth between Bo and his lawyers and the prosecutors, accusing him of corruption, bribes, and abuse of power. Millions of Chinese use microblogs, and the court's decision to take the trial live online was a rare example of openness, particularly for such a sensitive political case. Prosecutors say Bo used his wife, son, and others to pocket more than $4 million in cash and property. A large portion of Thursday's proceedings focused on allegations Bo accepted bribes from the head of a development corporation while serving as mayor and party chief of China's northeastern city of Dalian. Bill Ide, VOA News, Beijing.
Follow this story on our website at voanews.com. Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe has been sworn in for another term, which is to extend his 33 years in power by another 5 years. Supporters cheered and waved Zimbabwe's flag as the 89-year-old leader took his oath at an outdoor stadium in Harare on Thursday. I'm Ira Mellman, VOA News.